Well, we're back. Hey, everybody. We are back. Yes, indeed. Last archaeological dig of the season. I'm going to finish the hole we started. This is part 3 of A Hole in the Woods. So if you didn't see the first 2 parts, please check those out. You may have to go back a few videos. They are not in an order. I think 1 and 2 are back to back, but then we do a bunch of other things. I went on my fall vacation last week. So if you haven't checked that one out, it's full of trains and scenery and fun stuff like that. But we didn't find a whole lot. But yes, this video is going to be digging holes again, mostly without the metal detector, but we may dig out the detector just for fun around here. I've searched here so many times, so we don't expect to find anything super precious, just maybe some more iron objects. Like I mentioned before, this is an early Republic home site that is invisible. There's no evidence of it, and I sort of discovered it by accident early last year. So I'm going to finish this hole over here, and then if I have a little time after that, I might do a very small test pit over there, because I'm still trying to find the foundation. If there was any kind of evidence of one, it was probably just up on some stone piers, and those probably all ended up back over here in the walls as people moved around and cleared the land up here. But very interesting spot. As you can see, I did a little walkthrough. We're on a promontory with a big stone ledge along that edge. We have a stone lane way over there with a road that comes up this way. But it would have been a great vantage point, and this is probably where they set up their first cabin when they took over this land before they built the house down that way. But all right, let's get digging. All right, well, I have to clean some of the leaves out of my screen. Both of them, actually. We're just going to do about a 2-foot square section here to finish this. Take off the top here, and then we're going to fill it all back in when we're done. The interesting thing about this site is the fact that it's invisible. I mean, you can go to 50 different stone foundations and find similar things to what we've been finding here as far as evidence of habitation. But the fact this site's a mystery, and the fact that I found a family connection to it for myself, that is the draw, really, to keep digging here and just getting an idea of how they lived. I find it intriguing. So, that's why we do it. I mentioned in the earlier segments of this dig this year that we started out by finding a lot of precious things, coins and other objects. We are down to pretty much just bits of iron, and when we dig, we find glass and pottery and other pieces of daily life from the turn of the 19th century, 1790s, 1810s, somewhere in there. So that's what I enjoy doing, so that's why we're doing it. All right, well, I'm just going to clean out my screen and start scooping some of this in there. Hopefully it's not too wet. We finally had some rain, so things are a little more damp than they were. So 3 cheers for that. We needed it. All right, well, I'm going to get to it, and we'll turn you back on in just a minute. All right, first screenful here. It is a little damper than I wanted. Oh, nice big piece of terracotta right there. I don't see glaze on this one. We've been finding quite a bit with glaze on it. And I didn't bring out my the tray yet, so I'll put them right there for now. So unprepared. I think I just saw another piece of terracotta there. A little teeny tiny piece there. And as always, stones, stones, and more stones. And roots. What is that? Ah, a little piece of glazed terracotta. There. Another little piece. Yeah, I still wonder if this wasn't the back door and this is where everything was thrown when it was broken. Sort of a refuse area for the cabin. We're on a bit of a downward slope, so this isn't where I'd be building. But up behind the camera there is the nice flat area. You may have seen that as I walked in. And that's where I plan to do the little test pit once we're done doing this for the day. And if that goes quickly enough, I'll break out the metal detector and you can join me as we try to find some more nails and other iron objects here. Found a lot of cutlery handles and broken cauldron pieces or cast iron pieces. Not sure what they would have been exactly. Ah, we get some glass. Excellent. That's a nice little piece. It has a curve, so it's approaching the base of something. We have not found a lot of glass, oddly enough. Mostly pottery. A little bit of bone, if you saw that last time and previous to that. There's another little piece of glazed terracotta right there. All right, well, I think we're about done with this bit. I'm just going to get the rest of it out. And I have a finer sifter. I might go after some of this if it's dry enough to do so. Otherwise, I won't bother. All right, another sifter full. We'll shake that one down. All right, well, keeping it short on finishing this hole. Like you might have seen in the second part, I avoided the area we did last year, which was not on a video, by the way. So I didn't dig that part again. But we're going to do a finer sift on this bit. I'm sort of interested since just found a piece of glass. So we'll do that real quick with some of this stuff. I was hoping to get to that pile over there, but it's waterlogged now, so there's no sense doing it. We're just going to backfill that. And we're just getting an idea. Trying to get an idea of what kinds of things they had here. I think we're getting to that point. But with a little test pit, maybe we can figure out where the building was. That'd be great. I'd just like to find a little evidence of something, a right angle or a line of stones or anything like that that might show where they pitched their tent, so to speak. Well, not getting a lot out of this. I'm not going to do this for too long here, maybe a minute or two, 5 minutes. So many things I want to wrap up today here at this site. For the season, the leaves are falling, as you have seen. It is just about autumn in New England. Actually, I think it's officially autumn in New England. That's right. What would it be? The 23rd of September would have been. Now we are almost to October. And the next video after this one is going to be another family video for me. I'm going all the way up to down East Maine, where my paternal grandfather grew up. And a lot of my descendants were from there as well. And I've had an invitation to metal detect at the former home of one of my 3 times great-grandfathers, who was a sea captain back in the 19th century. And once we do that, we're going to go over to my cousin's place, which is the farm that used to belong to my great-uncle. There was a chicken farm up there, so we'll look there for a bit. And they have a new piece of property as well, which is an old piece of property, another 19th century farm. So hopefully Jim will agree to go on video. We'll see. I hope he does. He's one of the last people in the world with that old down East Maine accent. He's got it pretty thick, so, and he's funny as heck. I hope he'll go on camera with us, but don't know. Well, not much here. There's a little teeny tiny piece of white china glaze there, but probably should pay more attention. There's another little piece. Yeah, the other screen is a 1/2 inch wire screen. This is 1/4 inch, so this catches pretty much everything. All right, well, we'll spare you the boring, well, it's all boring, right? The more boring part of filling the hole back in, and we'll get over in a minute and start breaking ground on our little test pit that we're going to do. All right, we'll see you in a minute. All filled in, to quote Willie Scott from Dirty Secrets of Scotland. Not pretty, but hey, it does the trick. It's not a fancy spot, so it will rebound and the moss will grow back and everything will look just like it did. All right, on to the next hole. Okay, well, I think this is going to be the spot where I do the little test pit, and hopefully we won't spend too long doing it. Just in front of this stone here. This stone always kind of intrigues me. It's the only one popping out in the middle here, except for that big erratic you see in the woods back there. But yeah, we'll do about a 2-foot test pit in front of this stone and see if anything pops up. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's get to it. All right, gloves back on. And we'll make it just about as wide as the stone itself, I think. We'll use that as a line. All right, let's see what we can do here. How many roots we encounter. All right, that's good right there. We'll come across like this if we can dig a hole. A lot of rocks, as usual. And one more. It's time to sharpen my shovel again. This is my new one. I gave my old one to my nephew, Sean, who you might have met in a video or two ago. But I hadn't sharpened the other one. And it got to a point where you couldn't. It just completely, the teeth completely disappeared on the edges. Wow, there is a lot of stones here. I wonder if that's part of the story of this rock. I don't know. We'll find out. If we can at least get some sod out of the hole. Might not be able to. Well, we may end up giving up on this, depending on what we can do with it. All right, I'll be back. We'll figure it out. All right, well, we got it off. And it came off in one nice big piece, which is nice. It ended up like a little carpet. I put it under that tarp because its roots up. So we'll just roll it back when we're done, which won't be too long from now. So yeah, so let's start digging this hole and see if we can find anything at all. Hoping for evidence of structure of some kind this time. Wouldn't that be nice? All right, well, I'm gonna position this thing. We'll start digging a hole for you. All right. We'll make short work of this, and I won't make you watch the whole thing. You can always skip ahead. Heck, you don't even have to watch the video, right? But you're here, so I'm glad you are. So thanks for tuning in. I don't promote this channel. Like I mentioned in the beginning of all of this, I mostly do these for my dad, so he can watch what we're doing, and so he gets a kick out of it. He lives in an assisted living facility, and he can't go out. He can't come with me on these things, and he wouldn't want it if he realized how boring it was. Right, Dad? Anyway, yeah, there are a lot of rocks in here. I have a little crowbar as well. That's actually sort of promising that there's other stones in here, because I was wondering if this could have been a support. These could have been to level a floor or something like that. So anyway, it's going to take me a bit to get through this, so we're going to turn it back off, get some of this out, and if I get enough in this screen, I'll bring the camera over and we can sift it together. How does that sound? All right. It's a warm Indian summer day. Well, that was a little bit of work. And wow, we weren't kidding. There were some stones in that hole right in front of us. Check these out. Look at the size of that big flat one. That is interesting. Well, it's just a theory, but maybe they were used for leveling something. They were all right there together. And I have not encountered that many large stones together anywhere on this ledge, so I don't know. It's an interesting place, though. It really has an energy to it. It is a special place, for sure. All right, we're going to scoop some of this out of here and have a little sift. We'll see what comes out of the hole. What do you think of that? All right, let's see what we can get out of this hole. I don't expect to find a lot of the same things, the ceramic stuff, so no idea. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. I think I got it loose enough to get some of it out of here. There's more stones in there too. The first one to come out was that big flat one. It was very close to the surface. Don't know what I expect to find, but that's it. The fun part of digging a hole, right? That's why we all do what we do. Those of us who dig holes without any purpose other than to see what's in the ground. So, yeah. I love a good mystery like anybody else. All right, well, I got some roots in here that don't want to give up their soil. We'll get back in there with the little root slayer shovel in a minute and try and get through some of that so we get down a bit further. But I think I have enough to sift a little bit, so we'll do that right now. All right, let's sift some stuff. All right, let's see if we can lift this thing up. one-handed here. There we go. Going in that direction just a little bit, and rest that on my thigh here. And just like before, get all the roots and large stones and things. Let's see, I'm gonna drop this thing if I'm not careful. I'm gonna come around the side. It might work a little bit better. I have found things all over up here, though. I found a lot of iron fork handles with the bone scales still attached in a bunch of spots up here, closer to this area where I am now, and things like pewter spoon bowls and lots of buttons. Buttons are spread everywhere across this place. At least they were before I dug them all up. I haven't found one in a while, so I'm sure there's still a few things hiding, but every once in a while I'll come up here and clear brush just to try and get the spots I wasn't able to get to before. It's just a flat stone, I think. Doesn't look like we're going to find much in this little batch. Sometimes you don't see it until you get all the dirt out, though. So I'll give it one big final shake, and then I'll take a look, empty out the stones, and then we'll try again. All right. Well, I'm glad I got down as far as I did without finding anything. I got another big flat stone right there. And all of these, all out of this, all of those. And, things start going through your mind. Like, is this a grave marker? Am I about to dig up one of my cousins? And I think I found the natural right there. You see the color change going from the orangey to the pale color of the layer below. So I think I'll just close this one up. I have one more little batch to shake here, and I didn't see anything, so we'll take a look at that. And I think I'll go get the detector, turn that on, just swing the hole, because I've never been that far down. Who knows, right? I have dug holes this deep for the metal detector before and have found stuff as far down as the natural layer, so stuff is sinking down that far. So you never know. All right, we'll be back. All right, let's see if there's anything in here. So far, not a little bit of anything, not a stitch. Zero. Lots of flat stones like that. There's another one. There's still kind of a mystery, though, why that many large stones are right there with that stone. So I'm going to stick to my theory and not the buried cousin theory. I think it was probably one of the piers for the structure that was here, because this is a nice flat spot right here. All of this is nice and flat. And it starts to rise a little bit over there. And you get over here, and it starts to go downhill. And right over there is the apple tree through the woods by the wall. And that's where our other trench was, where all the broken pottery and refuse was found. So if there was a structure here, I think this has got to be it. You get too close to the edge of the ledge, and it's too rocky. You can't dig anything. And this is still up a bit above that level. So considering you want the highest ground and a nice vantage point, and you don't want your structure flooded, this is a nice spot to build, I think. But yeah, what do I know? All right, well, I'm going to get the detector. We'll be right back. All right, we've got the machine. Let's drop her in the hole here and see if we get anything at all. Maybe a little iron grumble there. I don't dig up a lot of iron. So small iron makes a little doot, doot, doot sort of sound in the background. So I don't really hear it much. But nope, I don't think there's anything in that hole. So that's good. I didn't find a cousin in there. Good to know. All right. We're going to close up this hole. And then we're going to metal detect for the rest of the day right around this area. I don't expect anything too interesting, but maybe we'll just do the whole thing or bits of it live, and we'll wrap the video with just a little swing around the neighborhood here. What do you think? All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're just gonna play this game for a little while. See if we can find anything. And if we do, I can almost guarantee it's iron. This is one of my favorite times of year to detect, though. All the foliage is shrinking. Things are dry for the most part. Well, there's a signal. Doesn't take long. That is a nail signal right there. But I'm not going to discriminate today. We're going to dig it all. That was a one-way signal, though. And I can see it at the top there. So, do I want to dig that? No. So I lied. We'll discriminate a little bit. I want two-way signals. I want to be able to turn on it and have the signal remain the same. But as far as where it shows up on the screen, I don't care. Not today. Another little bleep there. What was that? Choppy little signal. Not much to that. Let's turn on that, see if it's still there. No. All right. Here are my brush piles from all my clearing I've done, from all the down stuff that's here. Didn't help that much. However, it has helped in other spots when I've done it. A little blip. What's that? These are not new signals, folks. I've walked over these a dozen or more times and probably discounted them each time. So, see if we can luck into a new signal. There's a signal. A blip. Choppy once again. A lot of iron noise mixed in. And if you see red numbers flash on the screen instead of black, that is a sign of iron, for the way I have this machine set up as well. All right, we're heading back over toward the busy site where all the digging has been taking place. Another little blip there. Now, if we were to dig these up, they'd end up being little minuscule pieces of iron, things like nail heads or broken nails, little tiny pieces of things. Old nails give off a really nice signal and are often confused with other non-ferrous, with ferrous targets like copper and brass sometimes. They give off a real nice signal, depending on what they're made of, I guess. Maybe iron was better back then. I don't know. That's a fairly loud one there. You can see the screen's got a bunch of oddities going there. Smudges. I reckon. Yeah, I get a little bit of it there. All right, we'll dig this one up because this could be something interesting. It's going to be iron, but it might be interesting. So, all right, let's do this one. All right, I'm going to put my glove on. I'm going to turn this off for a minute. Be right back. All right, well, we have found it. It is somewhere in the side here. This was, oh, did it fall in? It may have completely fallen into the hole. There it is. And we have a little tiny hand-forged rosehead nail. Let's see here, look at that in focus for you. There you go. Little hand-forged rosehead nail. Turn of the 19th century, 1790s to about 1810, probably. Probably original to the house that was here. We find a lot of these up here. So it's not just the household refuse, it's the pieces that held the house together or the cabin together. Things like this. So I loved finding these up here. I keep every one of them when I find a nice looking rose head up here. And I keep the collection together for this site anyway. Where if I found this randomly off in the woods somewhere else, it would probably just go in the junk pile. But yeah, there you go. Let's keep looking. All right, back to it. Come on, Jolene. I've already told you that this metal detector has a name. I might have done that at some point. My wife named it. Her name's Jolene, not my wife, the metal detector. Because once Jolene came into my life, Mary Ann didn't see very much of me anymore. And if you're lost on that reference, it's the Dolly Parton song, Jolene. Go listen to it. Quite a few signals here. We're getting toward the busy, noisy area again. A lot of chirping. I have the sensitivity up quite high at the moment, which I like to do in the woods. I could probably stand to turn it down a little bit around here. But since I've been through this place so many times, I'll leave it up. Maybe it'll get us a little deeper. You never know. Sometimes I have to go super slow and just creep along, keeping that coil as close to the ground as I can without whacking into everything, which is very difficult in the woods. But we're almost to the spot where we filled in the trench earlier. And maybe we'll swing over it since we disturbed all the soil. You never know. I probably should have done that already, but I did not. All right. And in a minute, we'll turn this back off and go back to business as usual. And I think I'll spend another hour or two searching today. But I'll stick to good signals. Well, that's not a bad signal. Now, if that signal stays when I turn on this, that'll be something else, but I doubt it will. No, it's gone. So, just a little piece of iron. But it showed up on the line, which is where the non-ferrous targets show up. So non-ferrous, of course, copper, brass, lead, gold, silver, all those kinds of things. And ferrous is iron and steel. That's a sharp one. I think I know what this target is. And I think I tried digging it before and I couldn't get to it. This is on last year's trench. And it's under roots in a way that you just cannot get to it. And I have a target in the roots of one of those big trees right there that I can't get either. That's a very nice sounding signal, but it is completely inaccessible. I have to chop the tree down and burn it out. I want to find out what that is. All right, well, we're gonna shut this down for a while, and we'll be back if we get a good signal, like a typical signal to dig. We won't bore you with any more of this iron stuff. How about that? All right, over and out. Well, I can't believe I have a two-way signal up here that I haven't found before. Where would it go? There it is. Under this beech tree. Oh, 35, 34, 35. If I get over here, see, it stays when I turn 45 degrees on it. 33, 36. So that is a decent signal. So let's kick all this stuff out of here and see if the signal changes anymore. Sometimes that will change it. Yeah, see, now the trace has changed a bit and it's on the lower ferrous limits. So I was thinking button before. Now I am not sure at all. But two-way signal, we're going to dig it. So we'll be right back. All right, just got the plug out. I haven't touched a thing. So let's see what we got on the pinpointer here. Plug, nothing. Dead center. All right, let's scoop that out. A little bit of an incline here. Things like the roll off. All right, let's see. Still there? Yes. Still in there, I think. Sometimes you'll get a phantom signal. I don't know what it does that, but yeah. Pull a handful out of the hole, and then go back to check the hole, and you'll hear a blip, and you go back to the sheet, and you'll look at a signal on the sheet. Some iron objects and some copper objects too, I guess, give a halo effect sometimes, and the leftover detritus from the oxidation of the metal or whatever will give a false signal. Okay, let's try that again. Still there. Come on, buddy. Where are you? This might be one of those ones where I have to go back and dig deeper. Thought we were there. Oh, we are there. Oh boy. Okay. Round. Something round. Take off my glove here. 30 signal. It's got to be a button. This cannot be a coin. Can't be a coin. Yeah, right there. Shank bump. But to find a button up here, after all this time of searching, is very exciting for me. Every detector, it says that special site, that one place that just sort of defined their finding their way as a detectorist, and this is that site for me. And I should probably stop searching it. I just keep coming back and I keep coming back and I can't stay away. Looks like we have tomback. See the shininess in there? Right there, yeah. So, late 1700s, early 1800s button, exactly in the time frame of our site here. Possibly lost by my cousin, or one of my cousins. That's a beauty. It's a big one. I don't know if that's going to have any sort of pattern on it. I doubt it. Let's try and polish it up on my glove a little bit here. If you get any indication. Now you can scrape that stuff right off there. Get that shine going. Hopefully. On the other side you could. But, well, I'm going to work on cleaning it up a little bit maybe. I love tomback buttons with patterns on them, and this is a big one. And sometimes the big ones they're more likely to be the ones with a decoration. So I'm going to check it out. Be right back. Well, there's the shine, but it doesn't appear to have any decoration on it. But it is a biggie. It's like $half size. No shank, but that doesn't bother me. Tells the story of how this button was lost, probably more than anything. But that will clean up better once I get home. I'm just thrilled to bits to find something here at this site because I have searched this site so many times. And why I keep coming back to it. I mean, late last summer I thought I'd had it all picked over, and then I found a large cent right in the middle of everything where I'd been looking for so many outings. And then after that, I ended up finding that 1796 dime, a US dime. The first year we ever made one, and that was back up there on the hill, up behind the apple tree up there and just off into the woods. You never know. Never know. So I'll keep looking. All right, let's keep going. Well, it's been about an hour since I had the last good signal, which was probably about 100 feet over that way. Like I said, there shouldn't be anything else here. But got a nice two-way 4950 here. I don't get it. Watch it be something right on top. Something very modern. It says it's deep though. Well, guess we're digging that one. We'll be right back in just a moment. All right, well, we found the spot. It's right there. So let's see if we can get that out. Still a little bit deep in there, so let's shovel a little more in front of it. Very rocky here. I thought I was going to hit ledge, because in this spot, that's usually what happens. We're close to that part of things where the ledge begins. Could be part of the reason they moved off this ledge too. Probably can't dig deep enough to put in a privy. All right, maybe that one. I think we got. Oh, whatever it is, it's heavy enough for me to keep missing it. Heavy things always want to roll to the bottom. All right, I think we have it out. Let's go over here and see. Our little sheet here. It's round. Okay, what do we got? Oh boy. Oh boy. Is that a button? It's got to be a button. Yeah, it's a button. Had me going there for a second. Yeah, with that number, it can be too much. All right, I'm going to clean that up. Take a little look at it. It's about a, say, penny to nickel size button. All right, well, here it is. You see why I started freaking out a little bit. It almost looks like a cap bust something or other, doesn't it? Still kind of looks that way. but is clearly a button. See, it looks like there's a bust facing to the left there, and the date down below, and almost even looks like you can see a liberty. But there's the shank. So it is not that. And if that was a cap bust or something like that, it would be made of silver, and it would not be ringing up that low. Shouldn't be anyway. But I don't think there's anything really on there. I think it's just sort of a trick of the eye. So cool. Another button though, and I've been over this area so many times. Conditions change, seasons change, different signals pop up, moisture levels change. Don't know. This one feels like a copper button, like a thin copper button. Could be brass. I know the number is kind of low. All right, let's keep looking. Well, it happened again. 30 minutes later, another low number signal, but two-way signal, and I've been over this 50 times easily, and I don't think I've ever come across this signal before. So a little skippy there. All right, probably unplug. Here's a skippy little signal, so usually a sign of shallow. There we go, right there. Which probably means it's nothing good. Most everything up here is old, but I don't think this will be. I'm gonna fish it out. Be right back. Well, I think it's just a little blob of molten metal that gave a decent signal. So probably is pretty old, but probably not as old as the site up here. That's one of the things I love about this place up here is there's hardly any modern contamination at all. All right, I'm gonna keep looking around. This might be it for the day. We'll see. All right, well that is going to wrap up this video and our dig for this year in all three parts. If you missed any of the first few, they're all up there. Just go look for them. A Hole in the Woods, part 1 and 2, and this is the end of part 3. Here's everything from last year and this year, pretty much. I mean, I may have forgotten to put a few things out, but I keep them in about 3 or 4 boxes, and lots of sherds. I've got all the orange and redware stuff over there, the terracotta and whatnot, and the china and other sorts of pot on the left-hand side. There's a bunch of pieces of an iron kettle of some sort and 3 legs, which is probably all of its legs. But the top, all of the buttons, most of them came, well, probably half of them came from the site where you saw us digging, and the rest from around the same farm at the New Hampshire farm site. But yeah, and we have all sorts of stuff here. Let's see what we got. And there's the kettle pieces and all of the china, and we have some here with patterns on them, which is always nice to see. A bunch of early cutlery. Found these throughout that site. Got some knives and the old 2-tine forks. Forks, as we know them, didn't come until much later in the 19th century, so these are sort of late 18th century, turn of the 19th century. Some grayware sort of stuff mixed in there. An array of iron buckles, a bunch of rosehead nails, ball buttons. Here's a closer look at the selection of buttons. Tons of Tomback, but like I said, some of these came from other areas on that property. Last year I was the dandy man. So many dandy buttons, but hardly any this year. Rat tail spoon bowl, another early one with sort of a flower pattern that was bent up into that shape. It was with a bunch of rocks, so I don't know if that was done intentionally at the time or not. Rosehead nails, tacks, big musket ball there in the middle, smaller musket ball, a bunch of lead. There's that pipe stem we found, which is kind of cool. A bunch of bone, charcoal, shells, all from food, furniture mounts of various sorts, shoe buckles and shoe buckle parts. This is probably a part of a knee buckle right there. You can see the decoration on that. A couple thimbles, a little jewel made of glass, I believe. The backside is a sterling silver kind of thing there. It's also a silver spoon, that little guy, I believe. I used to think it was plated, but I'm pretty sure it's silver. More bits of pewter, and here's all of our terracotta, some brick up there too, some early brick. A lot of this stuff has glaze on it, as you can see as we move the camera around here. And that's pretty much it. But had a lot of fun digging all this out, and I hope you enjoyed it. Oh yeah, there's our hammerhead right there, our little tiny hammerhead. Anything I missed? Some mystery items as well, some mystery iron objects. Not sure what those are. But if you know, leave a comment on the video, and I'd love to figure some of this stuff out. But yeah, there you go. That's the early Republic home site up on the ledge, the hill at the New Hampshire farm site. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back to regular metal detecting as usual for the next video, and I believe I will be doing it from down east Maine, so I hope you'll join us for that one. All right, folks, thanks a lot. Catch you next time.
Yes, now let's take it home. That's all. I said.